Now, in the 80s was a decade where the territory started to fall as WWF expanded nationally. When did you first learn Vince was going after the territories?
Well, he went after Vern and all those guys, so we knew he was coming our way.
Okay.
TBS was our, we financed the first WrestleMania. Come on.
Basically, yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
I mean, and so, and the thing with that was, Vince and Ted hated each other. So instead of having a legal battle, it was, we'll take it over. And, it was great for us, TBS.
Right.
And, it pushed us, and that was our buffer. We could promote up in the Meadowlands, which we did.
Flair Steamboat.
Yeah. And we went out to L.A., or in Chicago, just off of TBS.
What were the first moves that Crockett Promotions made to protect themselves against Vince?
Well, one thing is TBS. That was the key. Then we started looking at those Florida Championship Wrestling, which was going under Mid-South Wrestling.
You worked a little bit with Vern too,
right? We tried to create a NWA reel, but when you have
too many chefs in the kitchen.
Oh, chefs in the kitchen. They didn't. Nobody trusted anybody.
In the wrestling business, come on.
Oh yeah, no, come on. Yeah. Can you believe that? And even Eddie Einhorn tried to help with that. Yeah.
Talk about the importance of. Let me start over. Talk about the importance of cable TV as the business changed. Initial memories of and your relationship with TBS and Ted Turner.
Oh, Ted Turner. The first time Jimmy and Ted met each other, Jimmy said it was on the Eastern Airlines flight, and both of them were drunker than skunks. And that was before we did anything. And Jimmy, somehow and this was still before we had the contract. Jimmy was invited by Ted to be to go to the America's Cup and sail on Tenacious, which was his boat, while he was on the America's Cup boat. And then and Jim Barnett helped broker the deal.
Are you going to do a Jim Barnett impersonation? Everybody does.
My boy.
There you go.
But Jim was something else, Talleyrand. If you remember your history, he was always, didn't matter what, he would come to the surface. Yeah.
When Black Saturday went down and WWF bought out Georgia Championship Wrestling and locked everyone out of TBS, how dangerous was that for Crockett Promotions?
When they bought out,
when WWF bought out Georgia Championship Wrestling.
Oh, was it? We felt threatened, but we knew we had to promote harder, in our television. The ones that we were producing locally in the different high school gyms and so forth. That it just spurred us on. Roddy Piper was one of the first ones to leave, but Roddy also told Vince, "I'm not going to come in this area."
I remember that. I heard that story.
And that's loyalty.
Big time.
Yes.
Why do you think Vince McMahon had a falling out with Ted Turner?
Come on.
Ego?
I mean, look at him.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing against Vince, nothing against Ted. I mean, you have these A-type personalities.
When the idea of paying Vince $1 million for the time slot came along, what was your initial feeling on the decision?
I didn't like it, but I knew it was necessary.
Good for business?
Yes, in the long run.
You've been quoted as saying that money paid for WrestleMania pretty much. Why do you think, what do you think the history of the business would have been if that deal hadn't been made?
God, you didn't really have to ask Vince on that. Where would he have gotten the money for WrestleMania?
Yeah. That was do or die pretty much.
Right. It was.
Yeah.
And golly, hindsight's 20/20. There are a lot of things, Why didn't we ask Turner, say, all right, you put up half, we'll put up half of the money.
Go ahead.
Because, if you look at cable or television ratings, Ted was getting, let's say, a nickel for every house he passed. All right. Then so he had X number of channels. All right. And then if you captured the hour on cable, you got another nickel. So we had 3 hours that we owned, basically, that were number one in their time slots. So he got besides, a nickel, he got 15 cents per household that he passed that we never got any of. So, and really, they should have put up more.
Yeah.
But there again, hindsight's 20/20. We weren't dealing with selling time at that time. We were just promoting wrestling.
What was the relationship between TBS and Crockett Promotions like on a weekly basis?
Before they owned us, it was good. Ted loved wrestling because it made his cable system different from anybody else. That he lumped all his sports and put wrestling in there as Saturday Spectacular or something to cume their ratings up, so they could, baseball and so forth, they could charge more. It was good for him, and he just loved to throw wrestling at the purist of television and say, they do it, why can't you do it?
Right.
Why can't you capture the time slot?
What are some of your early memories of running head to head against WWF?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I always had a good feeling about it. I think the trips out to LA were iffy. The going up to
Philly,
that was, saying, okay, damn it, you come, we're going to do it to you. We don't, and we can. It showed that we could.
You guys outdrew him at the Civic
Right.
Center.
Yeah. It just showed that we could do it. And he was having a hard time with our area.
What were some of the tactics that WWF used against Crockett Promotions?
Well, it was a lot of it had to do with money, talent, to try to pull the talent away, to buy the hour. Let's say the hour that we're on, but our TV stations were very loyal to us. The production managers, station managers, and majority of them wouldn't sell.
WWF had a really hard time drawing in the southern markets at first. Why do you think the fans remained so loyal to the NWE brand for so long?
We were very fast-paced wrestling. We were not stand-up wrestling. That we were not 75% walking to the ring and walking around the ring. That it was the action in the ring, those interviews, you could believe it.
It was the best.
Yeah. They weren't showy. We didn't have a lot of glitz and glamour. That it was crazy and fun.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.